watching I-24 News. I'm Sarah Martinez, live from Tel Aviv. Today marks the 82nd day of the war here as Israel intensifies its operation to dismantle Hamas in Gaza. The army announcing this morning the death of 3 more IDF soldiers killed in combat in the northern Gaza Strip. 23-year-old Lieutenant Yaron Eliezer Shitiz, 20-year-old Staff Sergeant Itai Bouton, and 21-year-old Staff Sergeant Ephraim Yachman. The death toll of slain IDF troops in Gaza now stands at 164 in just 11 weeks. Meanwhile, international diplomatic efforts are underway. U.S. President Joe Biden held a phone call with Qatar's emir on Tuesday, where he reiterated the urgent need to release all 129 hostages still held captive by Hamas, including American citizens, and efforts to boost humanitarian aid to the Gaza Strip. They spoke as Israel's Strategic Affairs Ron Dermer was in Washington on Tuesday, where he met with White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. The pair discussed the transition to a different phase of the war to maximize focus on high-value Hamas targets. But the U.S. and Israel are at odds over how long the war should last. IDF Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi says the war in Gaza is, quote, expected to continue for many more months. Take a listen.
In this densely built-up area where terrorists are dressed as civilians, it cannot be said that we killed everyone. We will still meet terrorists in this area. We will continue to hurt them and pursue them in a variety of ways. Now, we are concentrating our efforts in the south of the Gaza Strip, Khan Yunis, the central camps and beyond. We will continue to both preserve and deepen the achievements in the north of the Gaza Strip. We will not allow a return to the security reality before October 7th, and we will not allow such an event to be repeated. The Air Force continues to attack non-stop. A building falls when it is an enemy target. A building falls when it poses a danger to our forces. The IDF is focused and precise in its actions. Wherever our forces attack, they are accompanied by heavy fire from the air, sea, and land. In every operation in which our forces require assistance with fire, they receive the required cover at its best.
I-24 News correspondent Pierre Clochandler joins us from southern Israel. Pierre, what's the latest where you are?
Well, we're seeing just right now 3 helicopters, gunships hovering over our head and going toward the border with the Gaza Strip. And there's artillery outgoings at the same time, from time to time, sporadic artillery outgoings. It's the first time that the IDF has confirmed that it's operating in the 3 central refugee camps of El Burej, Nuseirat, and Al Murazi in the Dir el-Balach area. And we know from Palestinian media affiliated to Hamas that there were already clashes with ground troops starting on Friday, but the first confirmation came from the IDF yesterday evening. In the 3 refugee camps, you have 4 battalions. Each of them is about 1,000 terrorists from Hamas. The head of the brigade of the central refugee camp, Ayman Nofal, there was a shriek now. It's probably a missile shot by an helicopter gunship. The head of the brigade of the central refugee camps, Ayman Nofal, was already eliminated a few weeks ago. But the IDF estimates that in those refugee camps, the structure, the military structure of Hamas is intact. They were scratched, maybe, with aerial attacks, strikes on Dir el-Balach and the 3 refugee camps, but nothing that can really harm the infrastructure of Hamas. And this is why, at the moment, the thrust of the offensive is in the central area of the Gaza Strip and southward toward Khan Yunis.
Pierre Clochandler, thank you very much for that update from southern Israel.